the number one asset you could ever have is your documented story. Is that you're gonna use that, that's gonna be the foundation of your brand. Is that what is your story? What's everything that you've been through? What are the things that you learned? Whatever you experienced, you utilize this to build your personal brand, like you utilize this to build your clothing brand, because this is what people are attaching to, like your emotions. They feel that emotion within your story, and that's why they buy from you. It's not because you created a product. And if you're able to portray your story throughout your product, that's when you get a loyal fan base and people to consistently buy from you. And you just get loyal customers. That's what you want. And you don't really want customers, you want a community. So I appreciate y'all for having me on.
Appreciate it.
Again, my name's Alyssa, Level Up Alyssa. Most people know me for doing interviews.
Viral interviews.
Helping other business owners and influencers promote their brand online. But on the back end, I do a lot more nitty gritty stuff when it comes to e-commerce, brand development. And so that's really what we're about to be getting into today.
Yep. So, well, and before we even get into some of those gems, I really want them to even know, like, the journey on how you even got to where you are, because I asked you your age and you was 23, and I was like mind blown because you started talking about you got 23. Just made 23. You got office, team members, explain to us like where you were, 10 years ago to how you got and what you're doing right now.
Yeah, 10 years ago, man, little 13-year-old kid. I was just grinding in school. Really, I always had the entrepreneurial mindset, but I didn't have the knowledge. So I wouldn't have known to do like e-commerce back then. When I was in college, when I really started to learn about different avenues of like business, like similar to y'all. I know y'all kind of got into it in that time as well. And that's when I was like really getting heavy when it came to digital marketing, understanding content creation, understanding e-commerce, website development, and other things like that. And so like my journey when it comes to content creation is that I was shy. Like I was super shy to like start making content. So I knew I wanted to start like getting in front of a camera. But when I tried to, like I would just sit there and stutter. Like I would sit there and stutter when I was looking inside the camera. And so that's actually why I created my first public interview. I was just on campus trying to become more comfortable speaking in front of a camera.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so I would just go interview other people and just talk to them like the cameras weren't there. So podcasting and interviews, just talking to your friends in front of a camera, it's like one of the best ways to just get comfortable and talking in front of a camera so you're not really feeling that pressure. You feel me? So that relieved the pressure and allowed me to become like more comfortable being myself in front of the camera. And it just led to way more opportunities than I could ever imagine.
Yeah, and a lot of y'all we hear that all the time.
They be like, they don't want to put themselves out there.
I don't want to be the face of my brand. That's what I hear a lot. But like, think about this. Phil Knight probably has stepped down from Nike a long time. But most people probably don't know what Phil Knight even look like. Probably don't even know the name or know that Phil Knight owns Nike. And if you do, it's because like you know that what he was able to accomplish. So if you creating something great, like people gonna know who you are. You're not gonna run away from. Yeah, you may not be like the spokesperson or the face that people like when you see Allstate or what is it, Progressive, you think of Glow or her. But at the end of the day, people that are interested in business know who the owner of Progressive is because he a high-level entrepreneur and he's been able to create a global brand and people want to know who's behind that. So you're never going to get away from people, the camera as you continue to grow and expand yourself. And you should want that. You should want people to, hear your story and want people to know who's behind this greatness because you never know, who you're going to be able to inspire through that.
Thanks.
Hey, and the other thing I want to say is like the first thing that you mentioned was like getting knowledge. Like a lot of people think that, they got the Shopify store or they got the designs. They think that they could go ahead on and just make a multi-million-dollar brand or make a multi-million-dollar business. But it wasn't until we really like took our education to the next level to become the people who we actually became. So those of y'all that's watching this video, I know that you want to have that successful business, but you have to educate yourself. And then after you educate yourself, you got to go out there and you got to take action. All right. So look, check this out. We about to get into the gems. All right. I know Level Up Alyssa got some questions for us and we got some questions for her too. So without further ado, we're going to get straight into it.
Hey, So, hey, bro, you know the first question I got. Really, what is the quickest way to flip a band? So I know y'all done flip mini bands.
Hey, you was supposed to drop that video.
Yeah.
Like, you was supposed to drop that flip a band video, but the quickest way to flip a band, if y'all don't know, she have viral videos of this exact topic right here. But I'm gonna go first, Marlon. I'm gonna let you take it away. Quickest way to flip a band for us and for what I know is, you know, a clothing brand is gonna be investing, taking that $1,000 and going and investing into your first drop. All right, now you don't have to spend that whole $1,000 on your first drop, but what you want to do is you want to use that money strategically. So whatever you buy, you at least make you $2,000 off it, right? We trying to flip that band.
That's it.
So instead of you probably investing the whole $1,000 into merchandise, you may invest $800 or $900, and then at least go do you a photo shoot or do you something that could present your brand well. Because a lot of people that's watching this video, they be, I want a luxury brand, I want this kind of brand. But then how you gonna sell a $100 t-shirt if like you can't even put your products around multi-million-dollar items, or you can't put your product in front of a Lambo or like when you go to Louis Vuitton and you go inside the store, these people wearing suits, these people giving you champagne when you're shopping with them. Right. So if you want a luxury brand, you have to present yourself in a luxury way. So what I would do is I spend $800 to $900 because we always said, your cost of goods is gonna be at least 50%. Right. So you at least if you want to make $2,000, you might have to spend that $1,000, but as long as you spend $800, $900, you can at least flip that to $1,700, $1,900, right? And then I'll spend that extra $100. And I know y'all probably like a photo shoot don't cost $100, but you might got to go use your friend or something like that. And then what I would do is I'll drop my collection. First, I'll build some hype. Right. So use your personal social media, use some of your friends to promote your drop, and then go ahead on and give them a drop date, give them a release time, and then drop them items and try to sell them as quick as you can. If you can't sell them online, go out and do a pop-up. Like, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to sell these items if you have them. Most people want to sit behind the internet, but what we do is we call it taking it to the streets. All right, we started our brand off doing straight pop-up shops. Like, you're going to make more money getting out in front of strangers than sitting behind the internet when you first get started. Because everybody is not good with content. Everybody is not good with Facebook ads. Everybody's not good with sending out emails or texts, or you don't even have no emails or no phone numbers. So in order to do that, it's not COVID no more. Like COVID is over with. All right, so it's real people in real life that want to support your brand. People buy from people. So go in front of people and sell your product to people in real life.
And I say some non-traditional, because we think that we need to go invest in stuff to make money, but you really need to invest in environment and information. So I would take the $4,000 and go purchase some type of education, whether that's, mentorship programs, workshops, like putting yourself in the right environment, because just like, this is the idea. Most people watching this video, like we teach people this. I'm gonna give y'all some real gems that you would have spent $1,000 from. Because when you get in the circle, when you're around high level people, you're gonna think on a higher level. When you just getting started off, because you're not gonna make the same mistakes that your coach probably already made or already know what's gonna happen. In the sense of, we tell people all the time, when people first start getting their brand started, if you got $1,000, you probably only could get 100 shirts. That's gonna be $10 per shirt. And then you know what that same person said? I'm about to go get another 100 shirts. So you're gonna spend $1,000 again, $1,000 again, $1,000 again, because you really don't know what you're doing. You just getting started off. You think your brand growing because you keep getting 1,000 shirts here and it's selling out. It's going crazy for you. But if you'd have spent that $1,000 and gotten the right program, some information that I'd have gave you is, okay, how about you just go out and figure out how to get 1,000 shirts? Because when you go to economies of scale and you actually get more, it actually costs more to stay small. Like you keeping your business small is costing you more. When you grow your brand, now when you got the 1,000 shirts, it's only gonna cost you, the cost gonna come down. So it's only gonna cost you $5 per unit, which is ultimately only gonna cost you $5,000. But when you got those shirts, 100, and spent $10, if you'd have got those same 1,000 shirts, it now cost you $10,000. So you're gonna make the mistake of not paying for information. So yeah, which you could do it all by yourself.
Yeah,
you could figure it out. Instead of paying to get the information, not you're gonna save $5,000 on the back end side, and that $5,000 that you just saved. Now you can put that towards your marketing budget. So now you got information, you got product, and you're gonna be able to spend money on marketing instead of thinking that you got all the information right now that you need to truly create $1 million business when you don't.
I like that.
So that would be my idea.
Other words, ain't no quickest way. So what would happen with me is I'll take that money and go buy the merch, and then I'll be back at square one because I'll be sitting here with the money trying to do the same thing when I could have probably got more if I would have got the information from what you was just saying. I like that.
And with the information, we're gonna have the resources that a lot of reasons why people aren't where they want to be is because of lack of resources. What is true. But when you get in a community with people that's doing the same things that you want to do, like they already have those resources. So all you got to do is tap in. The reason why you not getting those resources is because you literally trying to either do it by yourself or, you really just not even trying. Honestly, a lot of people don't even try. Like I ask them, like, did you hit up the local screen print shop? No, not yet. Then if they have hit them up, okay, they gave you the price. Did you try to negotiate the price down? No. All right. Well, you don't want your price to be lower. Right. And then if you do have a screen printer, you're getting some good pricing. Like, all right, you eventually they only could print a certain amount. So when are you gonna go out and test other screen printers and try to get the price lower at least than what this person giving you? Like, when do you actually continue to become a better entrepreneur? It's not just about having the design, and that's what that environment teaches you. Like that environment that you're going to invest in and put yourself around is going to fuel you and give you the guidance that you need to get where you need to go. Because that's what I would have did. Literally, if we had that $1,000, I'd have paid for more information on the front end side. People won't pay for information when things not going right. Instead of paying for the information before they even get started. So that way they can get started right.
The right way.
It don't make sense to like build your empire up on quicksand.
Yeah, you got the right foundation.
The slab may cost a little bit, but when you start building up, it's gonna be cheaper in the long run.
Facts. I love what you just said. Like, you have to invest into your network. And I teach people that all the time. Like, number one question I get asked is, how do you get around so many high level people? I'm like, for one, you have to also make yourself a high level person. So when people ask me like, how am I in the rooms? Like, well, at this point it's an invitation, but at first it wasn't. Like, I would have to run a play, and also just brand association, being associated with other larger brands to make your way into the room so you can then invest into your network so you can be around more high level people that can kind of increase your interest level in business and just your knowledge and the information that you have. And also I like what you said, Nick, about your brand perception. That's a really important aspect that I don't think most people invest enough money into. And that the way that people perceive your brand is going to really base the amount of money that they're willing to spend for a product. So like you said about like Louis, like always having luxury items, is that they're willing to put that money on the front facing because they know that that's going to allow people to pay $6,000 for, like a bag or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now I like so, and I want to ask you a question real quick because we only here in this room because we both all paid to be in other rooms and we met each other in those rooms. Thanks. So like I like where this conversation going because not only like paying for education will get you the right education that you need, but paying for the right education is gonna also get you connected and be in rooms like this. Like we only able to make this video right now because we met each other in a high level room. So like who's some of those people? Like what? Like because all I see your videos with is like just high level entrepreneurs. So like tell me where that first started at. Like because before then I would have probably never knew you. But by you being on that same level and vibration as us, like that's how we only able to be here. So when did that first start and how did what made you think, man, I need to pay to get in these type of rooms?
Fact. That's a good question. At one point in life, you didn't even know about the rooms like that they exist. So I remember not even knowing, kind of figuring out like, whoa, like who are these people? I kind of find everybody at the same times. Like same way that you probably find artists is I'm scrolling through people's mutuals. And I'm like, okay, boom, I see you hanging with bro. I see, and I'm just scrolling online. And so as soon as I start scrolling online, obviously I'm gonna get retargeted. And so I start getting retargeted from ads. And at this point, I'm already educated on ads when it comes to e-commerce. And so I'm like, all right, let me just start. I went to the business Facebook ad manager and just started with the Facebook ad library and started searching for masterminds. And it was just like a really unorthodox way to find them. But I just typed in the word mastermind and I started seeing like people who were running ads for masterminds. And I was just like, okay, like this is a pretty cool way to continuously find them. And so I was just like, all right, let me type in mastermind. Let me type in like meetup. Let me type in business. Like, let me see what people are trying to throw like real estate or anything like that. And I just started to keep going to them. So I would be going to like every week. So like at one point I was gone for like 3 months, just going different states, just traveling, just hitting them. That's when I was just like going crazy with my interviews. So I'm like, I'm just going to keep on getting interviews regardless of where they at. And I realized getting the interview was just making like my mind expand and just introducing me to an entire different avenue and network of people that I wasn't unaware of. So like, I thought it was really important to just keep doing that and just keep getting in new rooms. And that's how it all started.
All right, I'm sorry I got to interrupt this video, but if you haven't checked out our monthly workshop, you are literally missing out. We have transformed over 500 brands and minds inside of this 3-day workshop. On day 1, we're going to be covering design. We're going to be giving you our design process to take your designs to the next level. On day 2, we're going to cover marketing. So we're going to show you how to set up and run Facebook ads. We're going to show you how to create content. And on day 3, we're going to give you the scale up. We're going to give you the play on how to set up your pop-up shops, how to set up your distribution to do over $10,000 a month. You don't want to miss this. If you're ready to continue to scale your brand, literally all I need you to do is click the link in the description. It won't take long, and we'll go ahead and see you in that workshop. Let's get back into the video.
Just one more thing right here is like, we just were talking about this off camera. What was the most, I want you to tell everybody that's watching this video, you ain't got to tell us who it was, but what was the most that you spent on a piece of information?
Yeah, so
I think it's important for the viewers to know this because you're only 23 years old.
Yeah. And when I spent this, I was actually like 20 actually. And it was $30,000 and I spent that amount of money to learn sales. At the time, I'm not gonna lie, it was tight too. It was tight. And he had sold me so well. I was crying on a sales call, bro. I was like, I gotta buy this. I'm like, this dude just sold me so well. I'm crying on a sales call. I gotta learn sales from bro. And it was the most transformational journey I've ever experienced in my life. So I actually shout him out. His name's Johnny Anton. He's actually not on social media for real anymore. Low-key dude, but that mastermind, that it was one-on-one, it really did change my life because I grew as a person and it allowed me to understand more things about myself. Understanding sales is really about self-reflection. And so the more that you know about yourself, the better you are able to relate and communicate with other people. Because if you can understand yourself, you can understand someone else and you can see their pain points. And sales is just taking someone to point A to point B. Yep. Yeah, and they're just going to give you some money for that transformation. And so if you're able to connect with them, then you'll be able to make some more money. Yep. So I think that's one of the most important skills anyone can ever learn in life.
Yep. And it's crazy because, just on the, for us, we like to tell people the new way of selling is selling without selling. Mm-hmm. So before, everybody was just like, hey, buy this 99-cent coupon here, right. $4 deal or whatever it is. It's pushing that sale is the reason why you're going there. But, I don't think Chick-fil-A runs those deals and they seem pretty packed all the time. And it's because they're selling without selling in a way of where like everybody probably seen that Chick-fil-A commercial when the girl was like, she was walking to work and then a team, they just bought her a car and that got you emotionally attached and you want to support them. Or when they, just come in with these commercials on how, the employees was able to, the team paid for their college tuition. Right. So like, that's the same thing that we do because we don't sell. We tell people all the time that we don't sell a tangible item. We sell an intangible feeling that you can rise above and do whatever you want to do in life. Like you got on that World and Vision shirt right now. You know why? Because when people see you, they see you motivated, they see you trusting in your vision, they see you grinding. And so you are a part of that World and Vision culture and lifestyle. And it's not nothing that, as soon as you take that shirt off, you still going to be a part of it. It's not, but it's the fact of the matter that you wearing it because you want to represent that and you know what that means. You seen us start with 12 shirts and $120, so it make you happy and you proud to rock that shirt. But then you want people to know what type of intangible mind you already have, because like when I see somebody with the World and Vision shirt, it's like we automatically connected. Like for us, our mission is that we provide original designs and branded fashion to urban youth who feel stagnant or trapped, and that was once us. So we want you to understand that through finding yourself, you can put your product out there, and that's what sells. Your story is what sells. What's selling is us being authentic. Like we started this when we was young, we still pushing it out, and we giving you something that you could believe in, and that's what you are, that's the lifestyle that you buying into. And that's what you also want to present to your brand. And so you have to, talking to the viewer right now, you have to figure out what makes your story different. Like, why should somebody buy your product over another product? Or like, it doesn't have to be where it's new material, because every brand is cotton or polyester or using those same. So we're not selling something that and gonna change or make you look slim if you put on this shirt. That's not the case at all. It's the fact of the matter that it's gonna change your mindset. When you put this shirt on, it's gonna change who you are. It's gonna change you because you watch something actually happen, and that's us selling without selling. Because I don't have to convince you to buy that. You want to be a part of greatness. You convince yourself to buy it.
Right. I love that, because I always tell people the number one asset you could ever have is your documented story. Is that you're going to use that. That's going to be the foundation of your brand. Is that what is your story? What's everything that you've been through? What are the things that you learned? Whatever you experienced, you utilize this to build your personal brand. Like you utilize this to build your clothing brand, because this is what people are attaching to. Like your emotions. They feel that emotion within your story, and that's why they buy from you. It's not because you created a product. And if you're able to portray your story throughout your product, that's when you get a loyal fan base and people to consistently buy from you, and you just get loyal customers. That's what you want. And you don't really want customers, you want a community. And that's what that story builds. So yeah, I love that you said that, bro.
Man, if you enjoying these gems right now already, I don't know who gave y'all the best gems so far. Make sure you drop that in the comment. But we not gonna stop. We're gonna get straight back into it. All right.
So when it comes to, because I know you said people buy from people. So have you guys always started with your clothing brand as far as marketing it yourself with your face, your own personal brand? Like what came first, your personal brand or your clothing brand? You go on which page?
So I mean, honestly, just getting started off, we didn't really know anything about personal brands. Like we still today, as people, it
wasn't a thing at the time.
People call us World and Vision. And that's how we know we still have an issue with our personal brand. You could just walk around and be like, hey, that's World and Vision right there.
Right.
But that's what we want.
Some people don't even know that we own World and Vision sometimes.
Right.
Yeah. And that's what we want, because we want people to know our brand for our brand. And so that was our whole idea. Nick actually got off social media for a little while. And then I never really focused on, even though we have the skill set to grow our personal brands, I rather focus the time right now to continue to grow my businesses and the brands that I do have, because it's like we just talked about earlier, no matter people still gonna know me because I'm growing a brand. So right now it may not be me that's in the limelight, but I'm able to put my brand in the limelight, which is ultimately getting me where I need to go anyway, whether it was me or the brand. So we always just wanted to put, we say we want to play for the name that's on the front of the jersey, not the name that's on the back. So we always wanted to put the brand first before ourselves.
I add something to it too, because I guess we didn't really say it was personal brands, but we always had influence. Like, how you just have those cool people that just, in high school that people just hang out with. Yeah. Like we always had some type of influence on our peers, but it never was in the way of having a lot of followers. I can say we were one of those first generations that was on Instagram. When it first had when people was really using Instagram for the filters. I don't know if you remember Instagram that long ago, but we was using Instagram just for the filter. at that time, they was allowing you to follow as many people as you wanted to. So we seemed like a hack. Like if we just, it was unlimited following. Like, so what people would do is, like if you follow them, like 9 times out of 10, like at that time, people will follow you back. So like we would follow thousands and thousands and thousands of people, and we would get like a lot of followers, even with Twitter. Like I feel like we had followed almost 100,000 people, and then like out of those 100,000, it'll be like 80,000 of those people that'll follow us back. So like at the time, it wasn't really like personal brands, but we did have ways that we was like using our influence to drive traffic to our business. Now at the time, like we were still caught up in the limelight, you know, just wanted to be cool and just them guys. But then we noticed right away when we got to college that like being cool don't make money. Like you could be the coolest person out there and still not know how to make no money. Thanks. So right away, we just wanted to just shift all that energy and that focus on the business. And then like Marlon saying, that's when I deleted like all my social medias. That's when Marlon kind of like chilled on his social medias. And we just focused strictly on the business. And like World and Vision became like World and Vision because that's what we wanted it. That was our perception of it. We wanted people to just know World and Vision for World and Vision. Like we cool with people coming up saying, oh, that's World and Vision. Like we cool with people not knowing, like they know more about the shirt. Like they see more shirts in the world than they actually see us. Like, which is the thing that we always really wanted, because at the end of the day, like we don't like when we don't want the brand to just live because it's us. Like that's not necessarily a business. Like we want that business to last. Like as Apple's still here. And it ain't going nowhere. I can promise you that. Like as long as we living, you're gonna see Apple here. As long as we living, you're gonna see Walmart here. So we always looked at those brands and said, that's who we really and truly want to be like. And that's why we created World and Vision into what World and Vision is. And it's not like, oh, you gotta know me or Marlon to actually know the brand.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. And that was because I have a question. Just like, what advice would you give to, because a lot of people that's watching this are young, like while they watch our channel between 18 to about that 28 range. And so you were very young. So what advice would you give to somebody that's just graduating college and, you know, looking to get into entrepreneurship full time?
I would say if you're looking to get into entrepreneurship full time and you're like right out of college, like just slow down though. I would just tell everybody to slow down. Is that because of the internet, you can see a lot of growth in other people. You really don't understand like what resources they have starting off, and that you like getting into entrepreneurship is very hard, and people don't speak about how hard it is. And even though we have a lot more resources than our parents might have, like we have the internet, we have things we can utilize online. Just take your time in ingesting that information so you can apply it, and you don't just go out and just start balling out on courses and trying to learn everything in the world. Now you just an info junkie, and now you just know how to do everything, and now you still can't apply anything, and your back's against the wall. And so if you're just now graduating and you want to get into entrepreneurship, like the first thing I would do is, well, like let's create a plan. So I like to like use Lucid Chart, which is it's like a way you can create a digital mind map basically. And I'll create a mind map for where I am right now to where like my desired destination. And it's like, okay, look at your desired destination and really curate a plan, a step-by-step plan on how you're going to get there. And if you don't know, then you need to consult with somebody who does. And whether that's you have to like pay for some information, or you pay for a mentor, you pay to get connected with the right person who can help like lead or guide you to get to that desired destination. But if you don't know your desired destination, then that's like really the starting point for me. It's like, you got to know where you're trying to go. Are we going to be like kind of moving blindly without like any type of guidance, no map to get to where we want to go? So I need to have a map, and I'm not someone who just likes to make blind decisions. I can be making very accurate decisions with information that I've been able to utilize from people inside of my network, and also information I had to learn on my own from mistakes and stuff like that. So that's what I would say.
Man,
I like that, because Ma always said he like people go on like vacation trips and they know exactly where they're gonna go. They know they like when we get to Cali, we going to this restaurant. We going to this night party. We going to this day party. We going to this beach. But they don't really know like about what they plan for life. They plan for their business. And like Marlon always say, like, if you had to drive from here to Los Angeles right now, could you get there without a GPS? Like, could you get there?
No.
You probably could, though.
You probably can, but
it's gonna take me like 3 months.
It's gonna take you way longer. So like, at the same way you use a GPS to get you from point A to point B, like you need to create that GPS for yourself. And like honestly, like we could really have a debate going back and forth because we didn't start with a plan. Like some people just so not good with creating plans that I just say just start.
Right.
Like, I mean, when you 14, you could start without a plan.
Yeah, just do something. Because some people be like, I'm waiting for the right time.
Right.
And like that, I feel like creating a plan and getting started, it usually is like a head, it's like a head bump because it's like they like, I'm waiting till I get this plan right. But like, just create something, even if it's like saying this is where I'm at right now and this is where I want to be, that's good enough. Like even with a business plan, like we do not have a book of a business plan. Like I could probably show you a couple of things on the phone. That's the business plan. You get what I'm trying to say? So at least start off with just something. Like if whatever it is, in 3 years, I want to at least have then had my website doing $100,000 in sales, $1 million in sales, whatever it is, have something in a way in which that you could visualize it and then just get started because your plan always gonna start to alter and it's always gonna change.
Right.
Like our plan changed all the time because we didn't know COVID was gonna happen.
Yeah, of course.
You get what I'm trying to say? Stuff happens and you gotta adjust accordingly. So like, but without us actually being if we would have never started our business and had our business during COVID, we probably would have never been as big as we is now.
Right.
But at least we had got started before COVID.
Right.
And then when COVID came, we was able to adjust our business model to actually accelerate faster than at least like not having a business at all.
Yep. And kind of just before we wrap up, because I know it's important. We talked about sales, we talked about mindset, but I know you had, you was doing websites and how important is like, you is having that front end, is creating that content to your brand because this, now I got my brand, I got my product going, I got my story, but like how important is content and just your digital, we talked about like, your perception in person, but what about your digital perception?
Yeah, man. Your brand perception online is very, very important. It's like the new way people are perceiving you. So usually when people think about like a personal brand, they're talking about like, how are people perceiving you or what are people saying when you're not in the room about you, right? But when we're talking about our business online, like one of the biggest things are going to be your social media page. So within half a second, someone's already deciding whether or not they're going to mess with your brand or they're going to go ahead and leave and forget about you. So I always tell people, it's like, what is that one thing that you can do to be memorable to someone, right? And whether that's you displaying your story, you have a mission that resonates with an audience very specifically. And also, I think people's target audience is way too broad. It's like you need to target a specific person. Like, what is your target avatar looking like? Because this is going to allow you to get your message across way easier. So that's what I would say on the front end. But again, I think focusing on content is going to allow you to get a lot of attention. And if your website isn't set up properly, then you won't be able to convert those lookers and the bookers. Like you won't be able to get anybody to purchase from you. So the ideal way is to have a high converting website. So now when you're scaling and you're posting online and you then you start running Facebook ads, you get a higher ROI. And so just a simple thing that I would tell people who are looking to have a higher converting website is to utilize this framework. I call it BAG. So this is how you can get the bag for your website. So you want to always have a banner on your website, whether that's you promoting some sort of incentive for people to shop with you, right? So that could be like free shipping, whether that's free shipping after they spend a certain dollar amount or, regardless, just free shipping on any purchase. And then the A is above the fold. So what above the fold stands for is before someone scrolls on your website. Again, you only got like half a second before someone decides if they're going to stay on your website or they're going to leave. So whatever you have above the fold before someone scrolls is very important. It's important that you have a button for somebody to come purchase from you. I see a lot of websites now that doesn't even have a shop now button above the fold before you scroll. If someone has to scroll to get to that button, most likely you're losing customers. And I have also worked with some clients who are servicing people out of the country and they don't have any type of geolocation. So this is something that I realized was a big problem. And geolocation is basically the ability for when you're shopping, is the same website, when you're shopping in another country, for it to switch currencies. And so that's like 3 things to make your website just higher converting overall. So you can make as much content, run as many ads as possible, but if you're getting all these visitors without any conversions, it's because your website is trash. So you just gotta move some things around on your website.
I like that.
Yeah, you gotta move some things around on your website, because that's what's really gonna be the money maker for you.
Man,
I like it.
Hey, we had to leave off with those gems right there. Hey, I hope y'all just took notes. Once again, hey, appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
Level Up. Listen, appreciate you so much. Hey, I'm Marlon Watts. I'm a co-owner and CEO of World and Vision.
Hey, I'm Nicholas Clark, co-owner and designer of World and Vision.
Hey, we back in the A. Thank you, Atlanta.
Yes,
we out.
Yo.